Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios. It's the Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Thank you for joining us, America. Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today as we answer your questions about your life and your money. Open phones at 888-825-5225. That's 888-825-5225. Starting this hour is going to be Anthony. Anthony's with us in Jackson, Tennessee. Hi, Anthony. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
All right. My question today involves have to do with paying off a mortgage or saving up a down payment for a new house. My wife and I we just became consumer debt free, and we will have our emergency fund built up within the next 2 months. And I just wasn't sure if it's better to build the equity in our existing mortgage, and I think we could get it paid off within that 2 to 3 year period, or just save up a pile of cash.
Well, congratulations. Way to go, man.
Thank you.
Feels good to get control, doesn't it?
It does. $55,000 in 18 months.
Ooh.
There was student loans and a car loan.
Way to go. That's exciting.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
So the question is, you're thinking ahead to paying off your mortgage. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yes, either that or getting a sizable down payment for cash. I didn't know which one would be more beneficial.
Well, once you've got your emergency fund saved and walking down the baby steps, then you're going to start putting that 15% away for retirement, right? Do you have anything with kids' college coming up? Do you have kids?
We do have a 1-year-old little girl. We haven't really started anything on her yet because we were getting out of debt.
That's right. And when the time comes, you'll want to make sure that you're doing baby step 5. So opening something, an ESA or 529 for her, making sure you're putting some money aside from that. And then when it's time to start paying down the mortgage, I would not do a lump sum and throw it at it. I would make the payments, extra payments whenever you have the money, put it onto the mortgage. And here's why. This is the Jade way of saying this. Because whenever you have a stack of money just sitting there, it gets real tempting to use, oh, you know what? I think we might need a new vehicle. Or, oh, you know what? We do need a vacation to Hawaii, right? It's easy to think that money can be earmarked for something else. And so I like the idea of just piling it onto the mortgage when the time comes. That way it's out of your hands and it's building, equity, and it's that forced savings account.
Forced savings. That's what a guy I used to work for called it, Anthony. He said, when you pay extra on the mortgage, it's a forced savings account because it's real hard. I mean, you can do it, but it's a lot of trouble to get the equity out of your house to go buy a bass boat. It's not hard to do it out of your savings account. And so it's just, you're going to stay on task for the move up in house. And the good news, the weird thing is about paying down your mortgage, it feels like the money's gone. But it's not. Mm-hmm. It's just saved in the equity because you get the money when you sell the house. Mm-hmm. It's not like you're consuming the money, like you spent it or something. Right. It's not gone. And so it's just, what is a better place? I like the forced aspect of it. And the other thing is when you do get the house paid off, plans might have changed.
That's right. That's absolutely true.
And so even if they don't, that's fine. I'm not saying they have to change, but if they don't change and you're going to sell the house and sell it, they'll give you a big old check at the closing because you ain't got any mortgage. Yeah. And off we go. So, forced savings plan. It's a good idea to trick yourself into as many smart things as you can.
Absolutely. Yeah. I say automate smart. And so when you automate those extra payments or when you just automatically put those towards debt, it's a smart habit that's automated. Now, the only time, Dave, that I would stack up a pile of money to pay off a debt is if there was some sort of deal that I was getting. Like if you had a private student loan and they said, hey, if you pay a lump sum, we'll give you some off. That's the only time I might stack up.
Well, or a 401k loan, you can't pay extra on it. You can only pay the minimum or a lump sum, one of the two. So you have to stack up to knock out a 401k loan. Something along those lines, then you have to, But other than that, I agree, And, hey, guys, it's a good idea to have. I got a bunch of auto draft for good things, like going into mutual funds, auto draft going into savings, auto draft automatically paying everything. So I never miss a discount on all utilities. Everything's full auto. It has been since before it was cool.
Yeah.
Before digital.
Yeah.
I've been on auto everything. And what I just said is I'm going to automate smart and make stupid hard.
That's good. Let me call out something, though, because I've been there. When you went from struggle slices to a non-struggle situation, back when it was struggle slices, I hated automating things because I never knew what my money was looking like, and somebody could pull that money out of my account, overdraw my account. And so when we finally got to the situation where, okay, like money's good, life is good, that was a hard transition to make. It was like the old brain going, no. And then the new brain has to go, yes, we manage our money now. Like, this is good. So
it's not, yeah, I'm not living crisis to crisis.
Yes.
I don't have to control the crisis. I can let the thing flow. And so, yeah, I haven't paid a utility bill in years.
That's great. I love
except
that.
Direct, except direct, auto deduct or whatever the flip you call it. And, so it's just, in, I don't know, decades, forever.
Simplify it.
And so, David Bach talks about that in an old book that came out back when my first bestseller came out, Financial Peace. He came out a couple of years later with a book called Automatic Millionaire. And he talks, just auto drafting into your mutual fund. That's the beauty of the 401k. It comes out of your paycheck, you don't even miss it.
That's right.
And it's the only reason that the income tax system in America works.
Please talk about that, Dave.
If you had a guy named Matthew that was at your office, and when you got your check, you got cash, you didn't get a check, and you had to walk out and hand Matthew, the tax collector.
Like what you did there.
Yeah. You see how I did that?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you had to walk out and hand Matthew, the tax collector, actual cash out of your check that he was going to then supposedly take to the federal government, there would be a revolution in this country with pitchforks and torches. But the sheep have been lulled to sleep by auto draft out of your check.
And they sure wouldn't be giving him extra to get back later as a refund.
Matthew, I'm just gonna leave a little with you. Matthew, the tax collector, you look like a good guy. I'm just gonna leave a little extra with you, and come April, you can hand it back to me with no interest. Right. That's a really good point. It would end all tax refunds.
Okay.
There would be no overpayment, by God.
Facts.
Because every dollar coming out of your hand would squeak. Every dollar coming out of your hand would cause anger. Every dollar coming out of your hand would cause you to vote again correctly. Oh, my God. And it would cause you to fire a whole bunch of people that can't seem to balance their books. Oh, my God. It would change a little trillion here, a trillion there, and then pretty soon we get into some serious money.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Look, Dave, I just want to be able to start a sentence with my first bestseller. That's what you did.
It's coming before you know it.
I love that.
Coming before you know it.
My first bestseller.
Coming before you know it. That's after you've had a second one, right?
That's right.
Is that how that works?
That's how it works.
Well, they're coming. I got a feeling, Jade. I got a feeling. This is The Ramsey Show. Hey, folks, you know that sinking feeling when you make an offer on a house you love and then you hear there's another offer? You need the Churchill Mortgage Home Buyer Edge. Super fast pre-approval and a secured interest rate, plus a $5,000 seller guarantee gives your offer the best chance of being accepted. The Home Buyer Edge from Churchill gives you an advantage over those other guys. Go to churchillmortgage.com today to learn more. Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Thank you for joining us. Hey, folks, we know a lot of people who tune into every single episode that we do. Thank you for that. And you know all the answers. You can answer the questions faster than we can. But you're still stressed. You're still stuck. Why is that? Because it turns out knowing what to do isn't the deal. Doing it is the deal. You can know what to do and not do it and have no success whatsoever. Thus, the problem with only knowing. Application is part of wisdom. And the proven way to change your behavior with money is by taking Financial Peace University. It's our 9-week class or 9-lesson class. A lot of people do it in 9 weeks. You get with a superhero called a coordinator that will encourage you and hold you accountable, act as your personal trainer as you go through, and you're in a class either virtually or in a group class over at your church. That's why this class has worked for over 10 million people. And after 9 weeks, you will never handle money the same way again. The typical person has an $8,000 turnaround in 90 days. That's right. They typically pay off $5,300 in debt in the first 90 days and save $2,700 in the first 90 days. $8,000 is a pretty good turnaround. Mm-hmm. That's called ROI, return on investment. Financial Peace University. Check it out, RamseySolutions.com/FPU, RamseySolutions.com/FPU. Calandra is with us in Shreveport. Hey, Calandra, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Thank you for having me.
Certainly. How can we help?
I have a question about baby step number 1, and I kind of want you to give me a bit of a critique on if you think I'm real serious about this or not.
Okay.
All right.
What's going on?
Okay, so I am halfway through baby step number 1, working on saving that $1,000. And unfortunately, in my city, well, really in all of Shreveport, Bossier, and some of the Arklatex, our power was out. And so I had to throw away my whole fridge, basically, and refill it, and it set me back a bit. But that's neither really here nor there. The electricity's back on. Great. But it's like every time I start to save my money up, something like this happens to me. And I'm not really complaining about it. I'm a little frustrated, but I am starting to wonder if maybe I just am not making enough money.
What do you make?
To even get to that step. Right now, I'm making $2,000 a month. I live really, really cheap. I don't have a lot of expenses, but I do have a ton of debt. Yeah. I am making, like I said, $2,000 a month. I pay $650 a month for my rent. A couple $100 a month, like $237 a month for my car, plus another $100 for my insurance, $100 for my phone. Things like that.
How old are you?
Save about $300. 26.
Yeah. For the critique, I do want you to make more money, but specifically for baby step 1, you got like the thing that's going to keep life from happening to you on this. And, you take 1 step forward, 2 steps back. It's speed. You've got to come in like a wrecking ball and just bull through this. I mean, you're selling stuff. You're going so hard in the paint. Most people save this within 30 days. Like that. I wanted to ask you, how long have you been on baby step 1?
Yeah, but $2,000 is, you can't do it with $650.
That's what I'm saying. She's got to go. She's got to pick up all the work, do all the things, the babysitting, the house cleaning.
What do you do for a living?
I'm a banker. I work at a bank.
Full time?
Mm-hmm.
Doing what?
I'm just a teller at the bank.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I'm not like one of those loan specialists or anything like that. I just got this job like 2 months ago.
Okay.
Not 2 months ago, like in February.
High school education?
The day that I started, I'm back in college. I'm going for my associates in business, and then I will get a better paying job, and then I will continue on with my bachelor's in business.
How are you paying for the associates?
Actually, my job is paying for it.
Great. Yeah, so there's a path. You have a path in front of you to earning more, which is good. Mm-hmm. But for the here and now, we've got to find ways to earn more. And I'm not saying that I like that you're on a path to earning more, but you got to pick up more hours somehow. Maybe not at the bank. Yeah. I'm not sure what they offer there.
Let me ask you something. Okay. When you took the banker job or the teller job at the bank, obviously you were looking for work at that point. What were you doing before that?
Before that, I was a full-time artist, painter, and muralist. I was teaching this part-time job, teaching art to children and
Okay, so you took the. Let me see if I can get in your head for a second. Did you take this job?
Also a part-time job.
Did you? Let me see if I can get in your head a second. Did you take this job to because it felt like it was like you were like being an artist, you might have felt a little bit irresponsible, part-time and all that. This is like a responsible big girl job. I'm going to get on a track here to build a career.
No. I actually took that job because back in the day I was in school for graphic design and I was paying for everything out of pocket. I'm the first person in my family to go to college, and when I reached out to get support from not only my family, but from my counselors as well, I didn't really get a lot of good support. I didn't get very much feedback, and I was doing everything on my own. And then
I think you're amazing. The thing I'm thinking about is I would like for you to do something that maybe is not as I don't know.
Rigid?
Not as whimsical.
I'd like for you to make twice as much money at something that doesn't sound as fun as banking or sound as professional as banking. If you were to clean houses and make $48,000,
there you go.
Or you can be a teller and be $24,000, I'll take the clean houses right now.
Okay. Look, you're creative. You have a skill set and you have an offering that the average person can't do. There is a way that you can monetize that in some way and make more money per hour than you're doing right now. I agree wholeheartedly.
I applaud your move in the direction you're going, and I applaud all the decisions you're making. I think you're an incredible young lady. It's fun talking to you. I would like for you to find a way to have a job that might not make everybody around you think you're cool or proud or whatever, but I don't give a crap, that makes more money right now. You need some more money.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, if you could go make $48,000 on your day job and make another $20,000 on your side job teaching art to kids and create some kind of mentoring program or some kind of tutoring program or something along those lines.
Summer workshops.
Yeah, you get paid serious. And you know, if I could get your income, and then that increases your speed, because part of the problem is that you're not making any money.
That's right. That's the problem.
And it's not a put down, because I think you're moving in the right direction, and you don't have good people around you to tell you to go do this or go do that. Yeah. And so we're going to be those people.
Yep.
Okay, we're going to help you. I'm going to do a couple things. One is I'm going to put you through Financial Peace University, our 9-week program. I also want you to take Ken Coleman with the Ramsey Networks. He has a show on career and on jobs. And he has an assessment, a career assessment. It's $30, but I'm going to give it to you. Okay, and I'm also going to give you his book, From Paycheck to Purpose. So I'm going to load you up, kiddo, because I think you got huge potential. And we're going to come around you, put our arms around you and love you, hug you, and say, get them, Tiger, get them. And you call back here anytime and remind us of this conversation, and we'll talk to you and help you. We'll be the ones in your corner. But right now, I would rather you be in a job that is not as I don't know what the right word is. It's not respectable. That's not the right word. But it's not as professional sounding.
Yeah. She's a free spirit. She needs a free spirit reflective
bankers
job.
Let me tell you about banking in general. Okay. Banking, big title, little money. Just in general.
Clearly.
Just in general. And teller, bottom of that barrel. Big title, little money. Lots of walking around like I'm doing something, no money. So when someone says they're a banker, I always snicker. This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey guys, being free to make your own medical decisions is a big deal these days. Christian Healthcare Ministries gives members the freedom to choose the doctors and providers they want without the frustration of worrying about networks and with no waiting period to join. It's a membership-based nonprofit ministry where hundreds of thousands of Christians share funds to pay for and pray for each other's medical bills. For over 40 years, CHM has helped families living across all 50 states. So see if CHM could be right for your family. Check out more today at chministries.org/budget.
Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage. Daniel and Danielle are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Good.
Good. How you doing?
Better than we deserve. Welcome. Good to have you guys. Where do y'all live?
Brunswick, Georgia.
Oh, yeah, fun. Just down the road. Well, welcome to Nashville. How much debt have y'all paid off?
$237,000.
Yay! How long did that take?
8 years.
Whoa, okay. And your range of income during that time?
Ooh, $80,000 to start with, about $140 now.
Cool. What do y'all do for a living?
We're foresters.
Very good. Good.
That's cool.
So 237,000, 8 years. I'm going to guess and say that might be your house.
Yes, sir. Student loans, family loans, and the mortgage.
Way to go! Look at it, weirdos. How old are you two?
34 and 33.
All right. Very cool. So you start this around 25 years old, and you knock out everything, student loans and the house. What's this house worth?
About $300,000 now.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow. Very cool. Good for you. How's it feel to be free?
Relieving.
Yes, yes.
Love it.
Been working on it a long time.
I hear you. I hear you. Very cool. So what started all this 8 years ago? Is that when y'all got married?
Actually, yes.
Right after we got married,
Yeah.
we took financial peace at a local church, and since then we got on it pretty hard and had 3 kids in the meantime. We've taught the class
3 times.
3 times.
Oh, thank you.
Ourselves, and hoping to maybe do it again this year.
Wow.
That's very, very cool. So so you took financial peace at the church. How did you find out about it? Was it your church or did somebody tell you about it?
So when we first started getting married, I'm the one that brought the debt into the marriage. So I had $47,000 in student loan debts, and I knew that we needed to tackle it, and he was on board. We had a friend who actually went to the church that hosted it that said, hey, you might want to check this out, and kind of heard about you a little bit. So we thought it would be a good opportunity, when we first get married after the Christmas holidays, let's go through this. And it was a goal for both of us to pay off the student loan debt before we started having our family. Mm-hmm. So that really kind of set off the journey.
Very, very cool. So she brought $47,000 of student loan debt into it. Daniel, tell me, just be honest.
I had no student loans. Thankfully, parents that paid for my college, which is what we're trying to do for our kids.
Yeah, also smarter than me. So.
And had scholarships, but we did borrow money to make a down payment on the house. We did buy it, so we did have that.
Yeah. But you were like, her debt's my debt. Like, we're going to go get this.
He wasn't really quite on board for us. We had very different mindsets when it comes to money. Like I, had student loan debt, so I was used to seeing $100 in the bank account and be like, I got $100, I'm good. And he was not quite that way.
Not comfortable
Got it. So you were like, I'll drain down my account, pay this thing. And for him, that was like, this is very uncomfortable.
It was very uncomfortable. For about 2 years, honestly, we lived off of his salary, and my whole salary went to the student loan debts. Mm-hmm. So I worked as a county forester, which doesn't make a ton of money through the state, and he worked private industry forester. So we just completely lived off of that. And then I'm just, I was already used to living off $100, so it wasn't really that hard.
That is very cool.
Very cool. Good for you guys. Ooh. Way to go, y'all.
Thank you.
Now you've led the class. You're getting ready to lead it again. You've been through it. And in Financial Peace University, people are going to come up to you and they go, you paid off $237,000. How did you do that? What's the secret? What do you tell them?
Be diligent.
Patience.
Patient and diligent. Just takes time.
Mm-hmm. 8 years is a long time.
It's a long time.
Was it worth it?
It was worth it.
Yes, our oldest is 5. We have a middle child that's 4, and our youngest is 2. We paid for 2 new cars with cash. That's all of them right there.
Wow.
So the youngest one now, she's mean. She'll get you. But through all of it, like when we're teaching, we try to really help those that are going through it. The comparison game, because that's where everyone's going to get you, just going out to lunch here, it's not a big deal for this. And so really being tunneled in focus, because some of those even closest to you may not necessarily understand what it is you're doing while you're doing it. Live for the moment, not for necessarily worry about that down the line. So we try to help them go through and understand, be patient, be diligent, stick to the plan, keep your vision on the long term.
So who were your cheerleaders? Like, who were the people that kept you guys focused, encouraged you, kept you going? Did you have those people?
I would say it was us.
Yeah, starting out, it was each other. And then as we've taught the class and had folks, teaching the class, first of all, every 2 years is a great reminder.
Yes,
because
it is.
About that point in time, 2 years later, we were starting to let the wheels get a little wobbly, and then we'd take the class and we'd be fired up again.
That's right.
So that's been huge for us just from an accountability standpoint. And then those folks that we've seen go through the class that keep checking in, and friends now that we're checking in on them, and just kind of keep your eye on the prize. So,
Yes, it does.
It's been
Get
good.
the right peer group around you.
That's right.
Yeah. Very cool. Good job, guys. You're heroes. I'm so proud of you. Very neat. Thanks for coming all the way up here to do your debt-free scream, too. And thanks for leading Financial Peace University. It's a big deal.
It's been a bucket list for about 7 years. So.
Wow. Well, we're honored. We're honored to be on your bucket list and to have you here. And you're a very, very cool couple. Very well done, y'all. Very well done. 100% debt-free, making $140, no house payment, no nothing. 33 years old, living in a $300,000 house. How much is in your retirement accounts?
I haven't looked at it in the last couple of months.
Probably
200 between the two of us.
Probably.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well on your way.
So you're at a $500,000 net worth already, and you're 33 years old. So you'll be millionaires by the time you're 38. Pretty easy.
That's the goal.
Yeah.
All the kids' college savings accounts set up, and
Millionaire foresters.
Oh, come on.
Not something you hear every day.
They're cool. Look at them. She's like a cowgirl.
You don't usually
I'm
go
like,
into forestry for the money. It's not usually the big money, right?
It depends on which part you go into.
Oh,
She's like, don't be deceived, Dave.
we
We're
got
getting this
choices
money.
now. We got choices. Yeah.
everybody needs toilet paper.
There you go. We're not going out of business, that's for sure. Well, that's good. Well, hey, it's so good to have y'all. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Very, very well done. And future Baby Steps millionaires right here in front of us. Very
So
good
cool.
stuff. All right, Dan. Oh, we've got the Baby Steps Millionaires book for you, the Total Money Makeover book for you, and another Financial Peace University membership. You'll be able to give that to someone who's in need, get them in your class, and on us, and our way of saying thanks and our way of saying congratulations. So that's the Live and Give box. We'll send that with you as you go. Very good stuff. Fun. What a cool couple.
So
Daniel
cool.
and Danielle, $237,000 paid off, house and everything by the time they're 33. Did it in 8 years, making 80 to 140. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
Three, two, one.
We're debt-free! Yeah! Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo! Yeah! Wow.
Wow, that's great.
That's exactly what this is for.
It is. I love that they kept coordinating the classes to stay motivated.
It holds you accountable
It
because you
does.
cannot be the typical human cannot coordinate a class while not doing it. So you can't be a hypocrite.
That's right.
Most people have a sense of honor, a sense of integrity, and they know that. They don't want to, you don't want to be around. If you're going to bail, if you're going to jump off the wagon, not fall off the wagon, you don't want to be around people on the wagon.
I get, yeah, absolutely. And it just goes to show, I mean, we talk about all the time the importance of getting in Financial Peace University because it's so extensive what you're learning in those classes. You can suck up a lot of it in one round, but you need to go a couple of rounds to really get it all sucked in. You remember it, you're doing it, because it's 7 baby steps here,
Yeah.
What you remember from lesson 1 when you, from step 1 when you first come in is different when you get to baby step 6.
You're different. You're different by the time you get there. And
Yeah.
so, hearing it again, you hear it with different eyes, hear it with different ears, see it with different eyes.
That's right.
And, it's like I read the same Bible story 10 years later.
Yeah.
You see something completely different
That's
that
right.
you didn't see before. The story didn't change. The words on the page didn't change. You changed.
That's right.
That's what happens. This is The Ramsey Show. Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Thank you for joining us, America. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Holly is in Bentonville, Arkansas. Hey, Holly, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hi, how are you guys?
Better than we deserve. What's up?
Hey, so I have made a lot of changes over the last year. I've increased my salary from $40,000 to $82,000 base with a 15% yearly bonus. I've paid off my car. I've bought a house. I've never had a credit card, but I do have about $30,000 in student loans. And I am wondering how I should prioritize my buckets, so student loans, savings, emergency funds, and investing. And also some tips for someone who's never created like a true budget before and has never been in like a stable money environment.
Very good.
Boy, you are asking all the right questions. You are so smart.
Awesome.
That's what I'm talking about. This is great. So the $30K in student loans, is it just one lump sum or is it broken to like a billion loans?
It's a couple of different ones. I'm also including a Parent Plus loan that my dad had taken out because I'd like to pay that instead of having him pay that.
Okay. Well, what I would do, if that's your only debt, I would list it. I would start with that. I'd list it from smallest to largest and start attacking that debt. Now, by the way, do you have any savings laying around of any kind?
Well, funny story. I had $12,000 and then I've had 2 car engine failures within the last month.
Shoot.
So now I'm down to about, $6,000.
Okay.
So I kind of have some left.
So what I would do, what I'm doing here is I'm walking through our baby steps. I would keep $1,000 set aside. That's just your starter emergency fund, just like quick rainy day fund. So that's thing one. And then the money left. So you said you had $6,000, put $1,000 aside, take the other money and throw it at your student loans and get a head start on that and then continually work to pay those student loans off. So that's kind of like your big focus right now. And then after that, we were just walking down the steps through the baby steps. After you've paid off the debt, then you can beef up your emergency fund to about 3 to 6 months of expenses. And then after that, we would start the investing process. And it goes on down the line into 7 baby steps. I'm guessing you're a new listener with us. So if I say anything that you're like, what the heck is that, Jade? Just stop me.
So, Holly, what we figured out is this money thing, is exactly what you discovered. It all comes at you at once, and you're like, where do I start? And that was kind of your question in a sense, right? And so we figured out you can do anything if you do it a baby step at a time. One little baby step at a time. You can eat how you eat an elephant, a bite at a time, right? And so we broke down good personal financial planning 25 or 30 years ago into progressive 7 baby steps. And baby step 1 is $1,000, little starter emergency fund. Everything else goes at baby step 2 until you're done. And baby step 2 is pay off all your debt except your house. List your debts, in this case, your student loans. You've got, it sounds like 3 of them, smallest to largest. What's the smallest one?
About $3,000.
Good. I want you to pay, and how much did you have in savings?
$6,000.
I want you to pay it off today.
Okay.
Then baby step, then the debt's, then your debt's snowball, because we're going to go down to 1,000, okay? Then throw everything down to 1,000 at the next debt, and we're going to continue to attack these debts, because when you only have 1,000 in your account, it's a little scary, right? Just me saying it, you went woo, right? And that little bit of fear motivates you to get very, very, very intense on knocking these debts out very, very quickly. Beans and rice, rice and beans, scorched earth lifestyle, living on a detailed budget. By the way, we're going to help you with that too in just a minute, okay? And then what you'll do is as soon as all your debts are paid off, smallest to largest, now with no payments in the world and a newfound control doing your budget, you then do what Jade said and go to baby step 3, which is 3 to 6 months of expenses as your emergency fund, a fully funded, proper emergency fund. $1,000 is not enough, okay? And then once you've done that, now you've laid the foundation. You got control of your income, and you've got a baseline to keep people off of you in terms of the emergency fund. Now we can start building wealth. And baby step 4 is 15% of your income into retirement. 5 is kids' college. If you don't have kids, that one doesn't apply. 6 is you pay off your house early. 7 is with no house payment, no payments in the world, money going into your retirement account. There's nothing left to do but become very wealthy. We're teaching people how to become millionaires in 12 to 15 years doing this. With your income, if you'll lean into this, we can do it maybe a little quicker than that because you're doing really, really good. So that's how those things work, and that's the background on what you're doing. We also developed several years ago and have continued to iterate literally the world's best budgeting app, and it's free to use. It's called Every Dollar. Okay, so just go online and download the Every Dollar app. It's going to teach you to give every one of your dollars a name and an assignment so that it behaves. Because money will not behave unless you make it behave.
I know, that's right. And just, when you start this budget, just give yourself patience, because if you've not been a budgeter before, it takes time to get used to what the amounts are, what this feels like. It takes time to learn how to say no to purchases. So just, give yourself...
Your first month, you'll suck.
Yeah, you'll just blow it out of the water.
And then your second month, you'll start to work a little bit. The third month, it takes 3 months for it to really work good.
Yep.
But the budgeting app's free. We're going to send you a book called The Total Money Makeover. Sold about 10 million of those, and it's the detailed, nuanced thing on the baby steps, exactly how to do it and why to do it. And that's why it sold so many copies, because people want to know exactly what you wanted to know. You're asking all the right questions.
Very good.
Yeah, you're pretty cool. Hang on. Austin will sign. I'll pick up. We'll get you a book delivered, and just jump online and pick up the Every Dollar app. It's completely free to start trying it, and I think you'll see what we're talking about pretty quickly. It's very robust, very easy to use. What is the crap they always say about apps that I don't ever believe?
They're intuitive.
Yeah, and it's not intuitive for me, but this one is.
You know what? I will say, as a person who's not tech savvy, it is for me.
I have a fit if it's not intuitive.
Me too.
But they always tell me that when I'm frustrated. Dave, it's intuitive. What does that mean? I don't have intuition?
Maybe your intuition is off.
What does that mean? What are you saying about me? You're saying I'm not intelligent? No, worse. I don't have intuition. Yeah.
Every dollar is intuitive, even for those of us that, quote, lack intuition.
When you look Apple up in the Greek, it means frustrated. I mean, it's just for me. I'm a boomer and I don't know anything. So
I don't know.
All you cool kids all got that stuff. And I do want you to keep in mind that there's one place that there was a bite taken out of the apple that was fatal, and that was in the Garden of Eden. So, and that apple has a bite out of it. I'm just saying. So you might want to look at that logo and think about that. What do I know, though?
That is funny. Dave, you're sounding like a conspiracy theorist up in here.
No, not at all. I'm not being serious at all. None of you believe. I have apple, and there's one right here.
There you go.
I'm laying right here. Yep. And
I'm with you.
I diligently hire people to teach me to work it.
That's so funny. Look, I will say, as a person, I don't love technology. The only reason I have it is because I have to. Sam buys my phone. Every dollar, if I can use it. You can do it. I think anybody can use it.
The way I feel about it is Rachel can do it.
Oh.
And that's how I know it's easy. So I'll talk about her behind her back. But yeah, she's the spokesman for Every Dollar.
Is she?
And that's that's how we know it's easy.
I like it because there's a couple of new things that they implemented in it.
Oh, that paycheck planning? That one completely changed everything.
Yeah.
If you guys have been off of Every Dollar for a couple of years, or you're one of those people who download the app, never got rid of it, and never went back and looked at it in 8 years, do y'all keep apps around like you don't clean your closets? I mean, what is with you people? But anyway, if you're one of those people, you ought to go back and open the thing back up, get the update, because that paycheck planning makes all the difference.
Just irregular income, this solves all your problems. If you're like on commissions or like, getting sporadic income, solves that problem. It's got that financial roadmap thing where you can really
changed everything.
Just project and see. You can see how long it's going to take you to get out of baby step 2.
We know it worked because we use fancy words like engagement is up.
Ah, that's right. That's
and
right.
And that has nothing to do with getting married. It just has to do with the use of the app, apparently. Okay. Engagement is up.
That's good.
Not number of people getting engaged on Every Dollar, but engagement of the actual app. So there you go.
Oh, it's good
See, this is what happens when you have a boomer running a technology company. This is exactly how it unfolds. Yeah. This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey, what's What's up, guys? It's Jade. If you love the show and want a deeper dive on your money journey, we have a weekly newsletter that gives you trending and helpful articles and tips on following the Ramsey way. Just go to RamseySolutions.com today to sign up for our newsletter. Again, that's RamseySolutions.com to sign up for our weekly newsletter.
Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they really love, and create actual amazing relationships. Yep, mental health, you got it. Money, you got it. Career, you got it. Jobs, we talk about it. We're going to mess with every area of your life, if at all possible. Jade Warshaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. The phone number is 888-825-5225. Samuel in Seattle starts this hour. Hi, Samuel. How are you?
Hey, Dave. I'm doing well. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up in your world?
I'm calling in to ask for some advice about, lately me and my wife have been talking about buying some property, and we think it's the right time to do it. We just don't know. We're kind of nervous about making a purchase that big. So I want to know what you thought about making a purchase for land or maybe even a house on a piece of land that's kind of in our price range.
Mm-hmm. So are you out of debt?
So we only have one piece of debt, and it's a fifth wheel that we're currently living in right now. We do travel for work, so that is our residence. Mm-hmm. And we owe about $46,000 on that.
Okay. Job one's get that clear before you buy. You need to be debt-free. Even if you're living in it, it's going down in value, and so it is consumer debt.
Okay.
And especially if you're living in it, it's going down in value. It's consumer debt. And so, yeah, you need to get rid of that. What's your household income?
Right now it's about $100,000.
Good for you. Okay. And that's your only debt. No student loans, no nothing else.
Correct.
Very good. Okay, cool. Well, you can knock that out pretty quick then, because you guys live pretty frugal. You're traveling. What do you do for a living?
We're travel nurses.
Wow.
Why are you making only $100?
So right now I am off. My wife, we just had a baby 8 months ago, and my wife just went back to work.
Yeah, I would have thought. I was thinking 200. Yeah, okay, makes more sense. One of you is working. Okay.
So, usually you're making around 200, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Is she going to go back to work, or is this the plan? Is she staying home with the kid?
So the plan is to have her stay at home with the kid and then me work full time. So the income will stay about the same unless we're able to be around family where we can both take a contract somewhere, then that could boost our income for a short time. But otherwise, the plan is for her to stay at home.
Yeah. Okay, so tell me about this land. Are you going to change everything with the baby then and go live in this house and get rid of the fifth wheel?
No, so the plan is to buy a piece of land and then build like an RV site on it so that way we have somewhere to go back to. Whenever we're traveling, we take a break, we go back to that piece of land and we're paying on something that's actually going to be ours. And then eventually in the future, once we get that land paid off,
you put hookups out there and as a temporary measure and as long as you decide to live on the road. And baby's living with you and the wife's living with you in the fifth wheel, and here we go.
Yes.
Okay. All right. I got it.
That's cool. Are you trying to do enough land to where more than one person could hook up? Or is it just for you guys?
We're looking at like a minimum of 3 acres, but any amount of land, as long as it's the right price, is going to be fine with us. Eventually, we could maybe add on to that more RV sites and help other people to do the same thing that we do and maybe make a little money off of that as well.
That's cool. What's something like that cost? I don't know that
Depends on where
world.
you are. Yeah, there's 100% of location, and location establishes price. So, okay. I'm going to treat this like anything else. It's just a matter of we're not going to buy a house. We're not going to buy land to do this deal until we're debt-free, have an emergency fund, and have a good down payment. And then you're going to put the land on a 15-year fixed where you pay it off as soon as possible, where the payment's no more than a fourth of your take-home pay, and save up the cash to do the improvements, to do the hookups.
Okay.
After you get on the land, okay? And you guys can do every bit of this because you're still square in the middle of the travel adventure. Mm-hmm. And as that adventure winds down and we want more permanent roots, that's what you're seeing out there in the future, a few years probably. Then, by then you will be easily into this land to have the hookups done. We start talking about drawing house plans, if you wanted to, and sell the old used fifth wheel that we used to use back when we were travel nurses and so on, And so you're gonna, that's probably your 5-10 year reality.
That's kind of why I was wondering if he saw it as a piece of land that other RVs would also be using. Or was it just for them? Because if it's just for them, I can see them converting it into land for a home.
Yeah.
But if it's more of like this business model where, do you see what I'm saying?
I would I would tell you not to do RVs in your own backyard. I mean, I just tell you, if you're going to have 3 acres, that's not enough room. Personally, I'm just going to say, you're raising a family. You've been so utilitarian. We're living on the road. You've been doing it for money, and there's nothing wrong with that. But you're going to reach a point that your quality of life is what you're after next. Mm-hmm. And if I'm going to do an RV park later, I'm going to do that as a separate venture after I've got my home settled. Mm-hmm. That's a separate thing. And instead of just plugging in people right next door to me, I think by then that you're going to reach a point the fun's going to wear off of that.
Yeah. When the baby gets older and maybe school age.
Yeah, when your kids are in college, you're not going to be living in a fifth wheel, and you're not going to be living with a fifth wheel with people living next door in a fifth wheel.
For sure.
It's just, unless you're very unusual, that would be highly unlikely. So so kind of think about it out there in the future. A good rule of thumb, by the way, for everybody is the further into the future your plan works, the better the plan is.
That's good. Yeah.
And unless you just say it's a temporary thing, I'm doing this for a year. Mm-hmm. Like I know guys and gals that, after the Iraqi war, there's a lot of people that did contract work in the sandbox, and they'd go over there and make like serious money, 4 or 5 times what they could have made back in the States doing whatever kind of work, whether it was military or military related or construction or whatever it was. But to get workers, they were paying, and they'd say, okay, I'm going to take a year. I'm going to go make bank, and then I'm going to come back home. Yeah. And but they weren't saying, I'm going to go work in a sandbox for 40 years.
Well, that's an important point. You've got to be somebody who's looking ahead. Otherwise, those transitions that naturally occur in life can sneak up on you, and you feel like you're not ready. Sam and I, for years, we traveled internationally 35, 40 weeks out of the year. And even though we were truly, truly enjoying that in the moment, I had to look around the corner. Both of us did and go, okay, like, what's this going to look like if we have kids?
Yeah.
And you got to be planning, okay, what's that pivot look like to get out of that and to get into something else? And just knowing that life has seasons and careers have seasons even.
And that helps you with your financial decision, because real estate is a very permanent decision.
Yes.
It's not permanent, but it is a very permanent decision. It's harder to jump in and out of a piece of real estate than it is a car or a fifth wheel.
Right.
So very, very good stuff. Well done. Good job, Samuel. Congratulations on the baby. Everything's going good. You got a good plan, man. Thanks for calling in. This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dr. John Deloney here. I'm a huge fan of both meditation and prayer. And good mental health includes slowing down, gaining control of your thoughts, and plugging into something bigger than you. And Hallow makes it easy to start a daily practice of meditation, prayer, and finding peace. Hallow is the #1 Bible app in the world, and you can tailor content towards your faith tradition. From scripture readings and prayers to meditation and journaling, Hallow makes it easy to practice prayer, meditate, and build a deeper, more meaningful spiritual life and rediscover true peace. Go to hallow.com/Ramsey today to get 3 months of Hallow for free. That's hallow.com/Ramsey.
Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. The Ramsey Show question of the day is brought to you by Neighborly, your hub for home services. Neighborly is the place to find reliable help for your home from trusted, locally owned businesses like Glass Doctor, Mr. Handyman, and Shelf Genie. Great folks over at Neighborly. Visit neighborly.com today and find home experts that are available to you.
All right. Today's question comes from Christine in Virginia. She says, what is the difference between a bear market and a bull market? And why are they called bull and bear? I don't know how to take these into consideration when I'm investing. That's a really good question. And I feel like you hear that a lot. It's basically the terms to talk about when the market is up versus when it's down. Right? It's like the 20% swing between it being up and things looking great and everybody's like optimistic and happy, and it being down, which it had been better part of 2022 and even into 2021, I believe. Mm-hmm. And everybody's like, oh no, we're all dying. Ah! And it's a bear market, which, you know, I don't know if I'm right about this, but I've always just thought, okay, it's a bear market. Everything's asleep. Like it's hibernating. The good stuff's hibernating. Well, I read something that said that it's based on the two animals are based on how they attack you. So a bull like bores you with his horns up, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. And a bear slashes you and goes down.
Oh,
I don't know.
I've never heard that.
I had never heard that either. That's why I shared a little bit of it.
I was more with the run, bull in a china shop.
Yeah.
Is, run crazy.
Yeah.
And charge, right? And the bear is hibernate.
Yeah,
it's
hibernating.
More cold.
Yeah.
So a bear is an extended down market. A bull's an extended up market.
That's right.
That's what it amounts to.
And it shouldn't change. If you're in baby step 4, it shouldn't change anything about the way that you're investing. You invest when the market's down and you invest when the market is up. And that's just part of it. And over time, it balances itself out. And, That's called dollar cost averaging. Yes.
When the market's down, the shares are on sale. Like when oh God, the stock market's down. Mm-hmm. When people say that, I go, oh great, the stock market's down. They're on sale.
Yeah.
And so it's like, Get it, flash sale on Friday. They're down, jump in, get while the getting's good.
That's right.
And when they're up, it means that all those shares you bought are doing really good. So there's always something to be happy about if you think of their proper perspective. The only reason you freak out when the market's down is if you think it's going to stay down forever. Which there's no historical there is some hysterical, but there's no historical data that indicates that. There's lots of hysterical data that indicates that. But
so let's talk about, I have an angle that I want to discuss this.
All right.
So let's say you want a dollar cost average, which is you're just putting that same amount, month after month or whatever. Mm-hmm. If you are a person with irregular income, mm-hmm. what's the best way to automate that? Like we've talked about before, just like automating these smart habits. Mm-hmm. What's the best way to automate that if you're not sure exactly what your income's going to be?
Well, you'd have to automate an amount that you are sure about. Mm-hmm. Because otherwise you got to change it every time.
But then at the end of the year, you're putting a lump sum.
You'd have to do a make good. Yeah, you
mm-hmm.
got to do a make good a couple times a year.
Yeah.
And look up and go, I got to play a little catch up.
And so those are the times.
If I'm going to put in, if I think I'm going to put in $20,000, mm-hmm. but my income is very volatile, mm-hmm. I might automate 10,000 of it or mm-hmm. 15,000 of it and then do the make good on the other 5.
And that's when this has got to not shake you. You've got to not go, oh, the market's is down. I'm not going to put in this.
Yeah, you got to keep going. You got to stick with a constant, consistent investment plan, 100% all the research, all the data of the people that jump in and jump out, they don't keep up with the constant people.
That's right.
You can jump in, jump out, jump in, jump out. Because you're using way too much emotion 100% of the time when you jump in and jump out.
That's right.
And you're not using good data, and you're not doing good long-term thinking. You're using freak out as your investment advisor, and don't use freak out. Freak out's a bad investment advisor.
Well, that's one of the reasons that it's good to have an investment advisor to help you not be the freak out.
Exactly, so you don't fall for that. But dollar cost averaging is simply if the shares that you're buying in a mutual fund are down because the market's down, then $1,000 that month or $100 or $200 that month, whatever it is, buys more shares.
That's
when
right.
they're down. It buys fewer shares when the shares are up and the market's doing well, but the shares that you already own are worth more.
So, it's like a sale.
So you end up with, the benefit of having ridden the roller coaster.
That's right.
You got the thrill, and you're perfectly safe. Everything's okay. So it's all good. No one gets hurt on a roller coaster except those that jump off in the middle. That's all that is. So Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. Thank you for joining us, America. Cole is in Salt Lake City. Hey, Cole, welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Thank you so much. Thanks for taking my call.
Sure. How can I help?
Well, I'm in an odd spot. I have $55,000 of student debt from a previous career, and I'm in a new career, and I'm finally at a point where I can start paying it back, but I don't know if I should pay it back really quick or I should sort of spread it out and also try to save up.
Why do you want to stay in pain? Why would you spread out pain and just stay in pain forever? Why not get rid of it?
My thought is I have previously gone through a injury that cost a lot of money that I didn't have at the time and that sunk me some and that I'm finally out of, but that I didn't get out from under for a while.
Okay, so you want to make sure that, I think I hear what you're saying. You're like, do I focus all of my money on this student loan, or do I, try to keep some aside for savings and make sure that you don't hit a rough patch again? Am I understanding that correctly?
Yes. Sorry, I didn't say that well.
That's okay. That's exactly right. So the way that we do this is we want to make sure that we're like focusing our intensity as powerfully as possible in one area so that we can get through it quickly, right? So to answer your first question, yes, I think that you should pay off these student loans as quickly as possible. And the way to do that is to make sure that you're focusing all of your income effort towards that debt. Does that make sense?
That makes total sense.
What do you make?
I'm going to be making $32,000 a year as a graduate student.
That feels low for me.
I got a very good offer. Let me say this. I know other graduate students in my field that are making substantially less than that. And
so you're studying to get a what?
A PhD in geochemistry.
Okay. All right. So this is a fellowship program. Okay. All right. Cool. And how much student loan debt do you have?
I have $55,000.
Okay. And having this gig obviously pays for your PhD.
Yes. Yeah. The PhD is in essence free, and then this is the money on top of that.
Got it. How long? And so you're doing some proctoring and so forth as a part of the gig too, right?
No, actually, I was given a fellowship that is entirely research-based. So I am only
research. But you're doing work for the university, obviously. Okay.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
How long does that last until you're...
How long does it take to get the PhD?
4 to 6 years. I'm really hoping to do it in 4.
Whew.
Yeah. I'm aiming at 4 for sure. So... you don't have a lot of wiggle room in living on $32,000. Not a lot of. You don't have a lot of disposable income left over after food and rent, right? Is your rent free?
My rent is not free. However, it is only $420 a month.
Thank goodness.
That's nice. Okay, so you got an unusually low rent. That's very good, and
I will be I'm going to be living in a commune, and we all pool money for food so we can buy in bulk.
Okay. Wow.
Cool.
That's helpful too. Okay. Good for you. Well, I'm going to put as much as I can reasonably towards the student loan debt for the exact same reasons. The reason we're pausing is we expected what you were saying to have a higher income as if you had graduated, but now you're still working on the PhD, and it changes the conversation. But it's still, as quickly as you can get rid of the $55,000, the faster you get rid of it, the faster you prosper. So back to Jade's point. This is The Ramsey Show.
If you're like most people, your home is your most valuable asset. And when you want to make improvements, it can feel like everything costs too much or takes too long. But something as simple as custom window coverings from Blinds.com can completely change your space and add value to your home. We've recommended Blinds.com for over a decade, so you know you can trust them. From blinds, drapes, and shutters to motorized shades, they make it easy and affordable to upgrade your entire home, and their team is ready to help with everything from design consultation to measuring and installation. Plus, there are never any misleading quotes or hidden fees. Everything's backed by their 100% satisfaction guarantee, and shipping is always free. See why Blinds.com is the #1 online retailer of custom window coverings. Go to Blinds.com now and save 40% off selected products. Visit Blinds.com today for more info.
Well, paying off debt is smart. Investing is smart. Those are both on the offensive side of the money equation. On the defensive side, there would be this thing called insurance, protecting your finances. And, hey, you got to have good offense and a good defense if you want to win. There's 10 kinds of insurance you might need based on what your life looks like. And we built a coverage tool called the Coverage Checkup. It's completely free, and it allows you to really quickly figure out what insurance you need, what insurance you don't need, what you need to upgrade. And it'll automatically connect you, if you ask it to the Ramsey trusted insurance providers. RamseySolutions.com for the free checkup. RamseySolutions.com/checkup. RamseySolutions.com/checkup. Make sure your defense is in order. Nate is in Austin, Texas. Hi, Nate. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Appreciate it.
Sure. What's up?
So I'm trying to find out, I've about 12 years of trying to convince my wife to let me buy a flip house. Finally convinced her after saving up about $50,000 to do so. And she didn't want to do it, but she made me promise I wouldn't try to rent it out, that we would sell it at the end of it. After a 3-month construction duration that was supposed to be, this was back in November of 21. I bought it, and we're now a year and a half later. That 3 months has turned into a year and a half. And finally, after three contractors, got the house finished and put it on the market in April. And it's been on the market for a little over 60 days now, with showing or two every other week or every week, and no offers or anything like that. I've dropped the price from $240 down to $217, and still not seeing much more movement.
So this is harder than they say on TikTok, huh?
Much harder with the residential contractors. It's a different.
How much have you lost?
Now, all the idiots on TikTok have to use residential contractors too.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah. This. Oh, it's easy. I got $57 million in 20 minutes, and bunch of crap. Okay.
How much of your
butt
have
you lost? I'm so sorry,
lost?
Nate. I've been right where you are, and it ain't no fun. So go ahead. I'm sorry. Say
No.
I
want to know how much he's lost.
No, he hadn't lost anything yet.
Not
He sold
yet.
it.
He hadn't sold it.
Correct. I still have it and haven't sold it yet. And
do you have a mortgage on that property?
So I have a HELOC on my personal property, my own home, and I've paid cash for the rest of it. So I've got $157,000 in the HELOC that I owe, and then the rest was paid in cash. Yeah. And I'm in it at $221 right now. So I'm estimating with realtor fees and closing costs, it'll be about $241 that I'll be all in.
But you're on the market for $217.
Correct.
So you're going to lose money.
Yeah.
Definitely going to lose money for sure.
Okay. All right. And because you messed your estimates up and your contractor choices up, and so your construction cost was way above what you originally planned in your pro forma.
Well, no, my pro forma actually was $227 was what I was estimating to get. Then the market went way up, and then it went way down. And well, it didn't go way down, but for some reason it's just not selling. There's a house three houses down that's selling for $260, and it's on the market for $260, and it's 200 square feet less than this one.
So why hasn't yours? You should be giving yours away at $217. Why are people not crawling all over it? The Austin market's not that dead.
Is the workmanship not good?
Well, it's about an hour outside of Austin. It's not in Austin.
If the house down the street is worth $260 and you have yours at 200 square feet less on the 200 square feet more on the market for $217, someone should have snapped yours up in a heartbeat.
I would have thought the same thing. My realtor said that the comps when we were going through this was between 217 and 238 is what the comps were. Other realtors that have come through said it's a great price point at 225, and now I've dropped it down even more. So I don't know why it's not selling, but I'm trying to figure out at this point, I've got about $50,000 in cash that's not going to, or in investments that are not going to have a penalty if I take it out. So I'm trying to figure out, do I pay down the HELOC and just wait it out? Or
why? The HELOC is independent of this decision. It's on your home.
No.
You could sell this house for $10 and you still got the HELOC.
Well, I'm just saying the interest rate.
In your mind only are they connected?
Well, he's just trying to think, I don't want to lose more money on interest having this loan sit around.
I know.
Correct.
Okay, so all right, number one, you need to get jump online at Ramsey Solutions and get in touch with a Ramsey trusted endorsed local provider real estate agent and have them come out and look at it, because there's someone that's going to have at least 3 years of experience, and they will have moved hundreds of units, not tens of units, and they will be able to give you some insight. And you may want to change real estate agents again. So first thing, because the numbers you're giving me don't make sense.
I agree.
A house does not vary as much as it has in this conversation in value.
Why have they given you any what you would call negative feedback as to why there's the variance there or why it hasn't sold?
So she's still saying that we're within the right range. There isn't anything like the house looks good. There's no concerns about the house itself. Okay. The neighborhood is up and coming. There's a lot of new builds. The house that's 260 was a new build. Mine was a full renovation. So that's a little bit of a difference.
Yeah, they're not. It's not a little bit of a difference. It's a completely different product. Mm-hmm. They're not comparables. You wouldn't use a new build as a comp for a renovated old house. They're not comps.
Well,
so your earlier comparison doesn't even hold water.
Mm-hmm.
So
gotcha.
bad analysis. Okay, so yeah, I think you need to get some help and look. Truly go to Ramsey Solutions and check out Ramsey Trusted Person. Have them look at it. This is what I would personally do, and then based on what they're telling me, I'm either going to change realtors or I'm going to drop the price. When you pay down the HELOC, you can do that in 3 months, 4 months, 5 months if you need to, or you can sell this house. I'm going to keep lowering this house. I mean, if you got to drop it at $195 and get it gone. Because here's the thing. You have gone to the school of life and you are paying some stupid tuition. Okay? You did not analyze or understand the marketplace for contractors. You do not know how to hire or manage contractors. You do not know how to run a pro forma on a flip, because you didn't have any margin in your flip. your flip needed to have another 25% margin than it had. You paid too much for this thing going in, considering the amount of work you had to do to it, because your margin after you sell it is not anything. You're not making spit. If your contractors had worked well, it wouldn't make spit. And so you've got to go back through and do an autopsy on why this deal failed, where you failed in the process. Since you're going to pay $40,000 or $50,000 for this lesson, learn the lesson in detail.
And the most painful lesson of all is his wife going to say,
yep,
I told you so.
Yep.
I told you don't do this.
So you did not put proper valuation on the house. You underestimated the cost, and you underestimated how hard it was to deal with contractors, and you underestimated the time it was going to take to flip it, and you underestimated that you were going to continue to be in a white-hot market. That's 3 things I can tell right now. You didn't know the value. You thought you did. You didn't know the heat of the market, and you thought you did. And you don't know how to deal with contractors, and you thought you did. And you missed your estimates on your construction, and you thought you did. Those 4 things combined are going to cost you $30,000 or $40,000 before you're done, if you're lucky. Only that. But either way, sell the thing, get rid of it, dump. You can pay off the home equity loan then. It's just a matter of how much of your cash you're going to lose. You're going to net $150, so your home equity loan's gone. It's just a matter of how much of your cash you're going to lose. Then the last piece of this is this. I used to do crap like you did, only I did it to the tune of about $4 million worth, and it caused me to go bankrupt, Nate. That's why I got no patience for it, because I was only I was successful at flipping them and making a profit. But I had a lot of short-term notes, and the banks called my notes. I was 28 years old, and it bankrupted me 30 years ago. So I've learned my lesson on doing flips with anything but cash. And I don't listen to people like Tic Tac people that are doing real estate seminars either. I'm done with it. So those are the things I learned. The last one is this. Proverbs 31 says, "Who can find a virtuous wife? For the heart of her husband, for she is more valuable than rubies. For the heart of her husband safely trusts her, and he will have no lack of gain." I don't do crap like this when my wife doesn't feel good about it. It costs me money every time I do. Thank you for joining us, America. Open phones at 888-825-5225. Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today. So let's talk flips for a second.
All right.
Since gymnastics, real estate gymnastics, doing flips is a big deal. So I did my first flip in 1983.
The year before I was born.
So that would be 30 years ago, right? Or 40 years ago? 40 years ago. 40 years ago. Yeah. The first flip I did, I was so stupid that I thought that everything that was a foreclosure was a good buy. That if it said foreclosure, that it must be cheap. I equated foreclosure with cheap, which sometimes is true.
I think most people do.
But I bought a HUD repo. They used to put them in the newspaper, and you would bid on them. FHA foreclosures, HUD repo. Out of the news, you had a newspaper as a bid process. I turned in the bid. I talked a banker into financing 100% of it because I had a real estate degree. I was a real estate guy. I knew all about real estate, and I was 23 years old, so I was a freaking genius, okay? And so I bought this house. I knew everything about the house before I bought it. I'd gone through it with a fine-tooth comb.
Okay.
In those days, they used we used copper pipes for the water supply, and the house had been sitting empty, and so the copper pipes had frozen and split, and so it was pretty much a sprinkler system underneath, and you had to go through and redo the copper pipes. And I knew how to do that because I'd done renovations work in high school, working for my dad in the real estate business. So I crawled around on my little back under there with a little torch and spliced all these pipes, fixed all the pipes, put new carpet in it, went in it on the weekends, and Sharon and I repainted it.
Okay.
And I kept all of my receipts for what I spent and paid myself zero labor.
Okay.
That's how stupid I was. And we put the house on the market, and it sold in 5 weeks. So I'm a huge success. Net, when I got done, I added up what we had in it, what we paid for the closing costs, what we paid on the closing cost on the resale, what actual, after every dollar is recorded, what actual net profit did I make? $842.
You're an overnight success.
I'm now game on.
Can't nobody tell you nothing.
I'm obviously good at this. Which means that I probably paid myself, what, $1 an hour labor?
Yeah. Well,
I didn't get paid for the labor. The 842 was with this free labor I had. I had slave labor, me.
Yeah. You
and
were
my
your
wife.
own.
And my wife, yeah. So we're in there. So that was job one. Okay. The next one I bought, and I thought, well, I'm not buying any houses in bad neighborhoods because I don't know anything about all that stuff. I'll get in trouble. But this guy called me up, and he had a house, and he sold it to me for $7,000. And I ran what I thought was the estimate, and I had 3 contractors look at it and give us bids. And the first contractor wanted a $1,500 deposit up front. Never saw him again.
Right.
Went to his trailer and knocked on the door in the trailer park trying to get my $1,500. Wonder I didn't get shot. By the way, he had already left and gone to Kalamazoo or wherever it is contractors go when they take your $1,500 because you're an idiot and you give it to them up front, moron.
Yeah.
And so then I started on the second contractor, the third contractor, the fourth contractor, and when I finished with that property, I had already done a whole bunch of other deals by then, like 60 or 80 more deals.
Oh, my gosh.
By the time I finished that property, I ended up only losing $14,000 on a house I paid $7,000 for 4.5 years later.
Oh, my gosh.
This is how dumb I am.
So if that second house had been your first house,
I would have been out of business.
Yeah.
I would have been Nate.
Yeah. You would have been like, I'm never doing this again.
My wife would have been going, yeah. Instead, I managed to delay the pain on that one, meanwhile doing a whole bunch of others, and I made a lot of money.
Yeah.
I made a lot of money. I ended up in my life, I have owned over 2,000 pieces of real estate. I flipped real estate as my job for 4 years. I was using 90-day notes to fix them and flip them. And I started buying property at 70 cents on the dollar, minus repairs.
Wow.
So a $100,000 property, I buy it for 70 minus the repairs. That was the formula. And that means I bought a lot of foreclosures, a lot of estates. I did some historic rehabs. We've done a bazillion deals. I can walk around Nashville and show you I did that house, that house, that house, that house 30, 40 years later.
I want to take that tour.
And now you don't want to be in that neighborhood probably, but
okay.
some of those neighborhoods are now gentrified, but
gotcha.
Yeah, they've come back a long way from $7,000. Now it's $260 to live on that street, and it's a great property. Not really. Still in Dodge City. You shoot up and down the street if it's Dodge City. I don't care whether it's gentrified or not. So anyway, you're killing me here. But yeah, so this is my real estate career. So when I get aggravated at the idiots on TikTok, it's because I was one of them.
Yeah.
Okay? I was doing the exact same stuff, and I can smell neophyte, beginner, a mile away.
Yeah.
Because I was 23. I was going to get rich in real estate. I made $842 minus the cost of my labor. I lost $14,000, and then I went on to make money. I started figuring it out that I had to, I had to be tough with contractors. I had to get with good ones, and I had to be tough on schedules. You had to be finished, and then you put the house on the market aggressively, and you flip it. You don't keep it ever. And, not like her, we're not in the rental business. And then I ended up buying a bunch of property. I buy packages of houses, and I buy 10 or 20 at once, and they were rental portfolio. And I lost every bit of that when I went bankrupt in 1988. 5 years later, I had $4 million worth of real estate when we went in.
That's went
into bankruptcy. Yeah.
That's a whirlwind, Dave.
I worked all the time. And I was really, really good at doing deals.
But I'm saying go from zero to hero or hero to zero.
And back. Whew. Zero to hero to zero. That's a PhD in DUMB is what that is. Yeah. And so, but I got a lifetime of learning there, and it led me to have a bullcrap meter that is very sensitive to real estate people. And so, you know, when you guys are talking about real estate, because real estate's real hot right now. It's a popular fad topic again. Everybody wants to do a real estate deal. Everybody wants to do a flip. Everybody wants to own a real estate. And your renters will pay your rent. Renters will pay the payment. You don't worry about it. It says people who've never had renters. That's a dumb butt statement. Okay? Let me teach you some words. Chapter 13. Bankruptcy for I will pay you when by God I want to. Okay? And let me tell you what you can do with a tenant who's in a bankruptcy. Nothing.
Wow.
You have a stay on you, which is an injunction. A federal court has looked at you like a dog and said, stay. And as a creditor, if you even call your tenant, you can be held in contempt of court.
Wow,
you
I didn't know that.
cannot talk to them. You cannot do anything except everything they wish as far as repairs while they pay zero rent. Because you stay, dog, stay. Yeah, you learn this when you've had a couple of them. So when renters are always, they're going to pay the payment, and it's a free house, and I have a jet airplane, and you're just an idiot. You're just an idiot on TikTok. That's what you are. It's unbelievable.
Well,
so real estate is great, but there's a people factor with the contractors. There's a people factor with the renters. There's a people factor when I overestimate how much money I'm going to make. I underestimate the contractor, the time it's going to take to run it. I think it's going to sell faster than it is because I'm always a glass half full guy. And right before that's when you get your freaking nose bloodied. Slow down, people. Pay cash for this stuff and run it like a business, not like a get-rich-quick scheme. It's your only hope of making money in real estate. It is not a poor man's game.
I think that's the part that anybody can take away from this is it would be one thing, Dave, I feel like if you were sitting here going, I tried that real estate thing and this is what happens, and it was just like this negative story. But then you go on and figure out the best way to do this, the smarter way to do it, the way that actually works. And that's what you're teaching. It's not like you're saying, stay away from real estate, never do it. There's just a right and a wrong way to do it.
I was 24 years old. I had $1 million net worth in 1984, and I made $250,000 that year. That's $20,000 a month in 1984.
Rich.
Okay? In 1988, my taxable income was $6,000.
Wow.
All I did was sell property in bankruptcy. This is The Ramsey Show. Dave here. You can find all of our shows with the Ramsey Network app on your smartphone. It's the only place to listen to the entire back catalog of episodes. Download the Ramsey Network app in your favorite app store today. Live from the headquarters of Ramsey Solutions, broadcasting from the Pods Moving and Storage Studios, it's The Ramsey Show, where we help people build wealth, do work that they love, and create actual amazing relationships. Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host today as we answer your questions about your life and your money. Joanna's with us in New York. Hi, Joanna. Welcome to The Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave. Hey, Jade. I'm a little starstruck right now, so.
Well, we're honored to have you. How can we help?
Well, thank you. Okay, so the facts, simply, Dave, are I'm a 55-year-old single mom, and I have an incredible job, and I make an amazing salary. And I am in debt to my salary, not proudly, and it took a lot of humble pie to call it today. But anyway, it's really been hard, and I'm just trying to find out, in my journey of the debt snowball, would I stop the 401k? I'm matching at 6% to get my company match, and put my 2 401k loans that I took to the top of the snowball. And I'm very embarrassed. I'm sorry to call.
That's okay. You're fine. Hey, believe me, the dumbest person on this call is me. I've done dumber than you've done, so we're okay. You're going to make it.
You're in third place.
You're going to make it.
Joanna, you're in third place. It's Dave, me, and then you.
Okay, so what's your salary?
I make with overtime. Overtime depends on about $140, and I am an executive assistant.
Good for you. Well done.
Yeah.
Well done. And how much debt have you got?
Between and I'm also a breast cancer survivor.
Way to go.
Yeah, man, got to keep on keeping on, and I am doing it. So I'm about 156 in consumer debt, including the medical and the 401ks, and I owe 247 on the house.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Break the 156 down for me a little bit. How much on the 401k?
Sure. 401ks are 25 altogether, 25 altogether, and I have about 240 in my 401k.
Mm-hmm.
And I do, from a former job, have about 40k in like a 403b thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't
you have
know
any money not in retirement?
That would be negative, Dave.
Okay, that's all right. So what is the other $125,000?
Well, it is a fair amount of survival as a single mom. It is a lot of stupid and really that.
Not what caused it. What kind of debt is it?
Credit card debt and
how much credit card debt?
Probably 100 and no. I'm sorry. I owe about 80 on credit cards, and the rest would be the cars.
The cars.
Yep.
Plural. How many cars do you have?
We have one paid for car, and we have two I'm paying on currently.
Why so many cars? Are you buying your kids cars?
Well, yes, that's exactly right. So my daughter just graduated college, and she is a teacher, and we have the student loan debt. Oh, and part of that is my a piece of the student loan that I am helping her pay.
Parent Plus.
That I agreed to do. Right.
Okay. So, how expensive is your daughter's car that's in your name?
We owe $15,000 on that one.
And what do you owe on your car?
Because we had a car crap out, so we had to move down cars. So mine is about $24,000.
Okay. And what about the other car?
The other car's paid for.
That one's paid for.
Who drives that?
My son drives that, and he's in school right now and working at school right now, so he's in Pennsylvania away from us.
And so he's in college?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And what is that car worth?
Honestly, probably about $7,500, I would imagine. It's a Subaru.
Okay. All right. Are you ready to fix this?
Are you kidding?
Okay. Are you ready to fix this enough that I can tell you the truth?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Single mom, super mom, you don't get to take care of everybody else anymore. Mm-hmm. You're a freaking broke person.
Yep.
These are grown children, and they need to be grown adults now.
Mm-hmm.
And they need to take care of themselves. You cannot continue to support everybody. You are broke.
Okay.
You're broke, and you have to start acting like you're broke and quit buying people $24,000 cars that are college graduates that are teachers. They buy their own freaking car.
Mm-hmm. And they're about to give you back this one so you can sell it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
She needs to go get her a car. Or if she wants to go down to the bank and get a loan and pay you off and buy this car for what you owe on it, that'll be great too. But otherwise, this car needs to go bye-bye.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Seriously, you're not going to do that, but this is what you should do.
Okay.
Because you have listen, you've been compensating and taking care of these babies because you are a super mom after the divorce for a long time, and I just told you to stop, and it's going to be very hard for you to stop.
Right.
I mean, if you get think about this for a second. You get your daughter's car back, it's $15K. Your car's $24K. You get back the car that other son is driving. You drive that cash car, and he gets a beater that he saves up, pays cash for. Think about that's almost $40,000.
Joanna, when you went to college, did your dad give you a car?
No. I lived in the Bronx, so I went to Hunter College.
Yeah,
so it was very inexpensive. Yeah,
when I went to college, if I wanted to go, it had to be in something I owned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It wasn't that people didn't send me stuff to college.
Right.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
That's what most people grew up with. So
yeah.
You're not abusing her. You're not being unkind. And then we're going to start taking care of Joanna, because Joanna is actually a hero. You've done an amazing job raising these kids. Mm-hmm. You've survived breast cancer. You've moved yourself into a 6-figure income in New York. You grew up in the Bronx. You've got an amazing life. You got a hero story.
I'm trying.
You have a hero story. And so it's time to live your hero story. It's time for you to go take care of you. And that's not selfish. You're overdue about $100,000 worth of overdue. And so I really, really, really want you to tear into this. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a little car shuffling. We're going to chop up all the credit cards. And Jade and I are going to put you into Financial Peace University. And we're going to also put you with a coach that's in the area, that's a Ramsey coach, and we're going to pay for every bit of it. Because if you got a coach in your corner and you'll go through Financial Peace University and you'll do the stuff we'll teach you to do, you can clean this up in a couple years. And yes, you do need to temporarily stop your 401k, but that's a minor thing out of this whole thing. The big deal is you've got to make all of the dollars that you have take care of Joanna the hero.
Put them to work. And you deserve that.
Yeah.
You deserve it. You've been working so hard.
It's not selfish.
Exactly that. I think that people forget what they deserve out of this, and like what you owe this to yourself. You owe it to yourself to be able to
breathe. You owe it to your kids for them to not have to take care of you.
Yeah. Yes.
Get your crap together and let them get theirs. Mm-hmm. That'd be a good thing. It'll be great for those young people. Mm-hmm. And you have done a great job. You got them both up and both into college and through college. That's pretty strong.
Yes.
Well done.
They would rather not have to take care of you in your latter years than have cars now.
There you go. Mic drop. This is The Ramsey Show. Well, you've all played the telephone game. The first person whispers a message to the second person, who whispers it to the third, and so on around the table until the original message has completely changed. Multiply that confusion by 100 if you run a business with different software systems that don't talk to each other. That's why there's NetSuite by Oracle. In the early days of Ramsey, we were using different systems for all of our business units. We needed one single source for accurate data. NetSuite was the software we used to optimize and take us to the next level. NetSuite gave us the visibility into all of our numbers so that we could communicate across departments and plan ahead better. And as we grew, it scaled with us. NetSuite worked for Ramsey, and it will make a difference for your business too. Join the more than 34,000 customers who trust NetSuite to help make them smarter and make better decisions and level up their operations. To learn more, get a free product tour at netsuite.com/Ramsey. That's netsuite.com/Ramsey.
This is The Ramsey Show. I'm your host, Jade Warshaw, joined, of course, by Dave Ramsey, and we're taking your calls all hour. Give us a call, 888-825-5225, and we will take your call. We've got Mark on line 3. What's going on, Mark, from Minneapolis, Minnesota?
Hi, Jade and Dave. Thanks for taking my call.
No problem.
It's an honor to speak to you.
How can we help?
Well, a couple of months ago, my mother passed away.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
She left. Yeah, thanks. I appreciate that. But she left an inheritance for my sister and I, a house, an investment account, and some cash.
Wow.
It's very nice. And she had, back in the 20 years ago when my father passed away, she had put my sister and my names on each one of those accounts with her. But she did not have a will, and she sort of explicitly defined who got what. So my question is, she, and I know it's only been a couple of months, so I don't want to be, insensitive about this, but she's kind of deciding if she wants to keep the house or not. I don't really have any reason to. I live in another state. Sentimental value. It's a house that my mom and dad built. But she's thinking that she might want to keep that. I don't know how long it's going to take her to decide this, and it might be a while because she's got some things going on in her life.
Now it's just the two of you, or is there other siblings?
Nope, it's just the two of us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so the house is worth what?
The house is worth $300,000.
Okay, what is the rest of the rest of the assets worth?
Yeah, the investments are worth $300,000, and the cash is about $100,000.
Okay, so your assumption is we're going to split this in half, and if she takes the house, you'll take the investments, and y'all split the cash.
That would be the ultimate solution in my head. Yeah,
I mean that's a fair trade. I mean it should be split down the middle. If you don't, even though she doesn't have a will, if you don't agree to split it down the middle, the courts will tell you to. They're going to split it evenly among the heirs, and they're going to force the sale of the house to do that.
Just realistically, how long should I give her to decide one way or the other?
I mean, it sounds like you have a tenuous relationship with her, or you're afraid she's in a very tender place and you don't want to. She's struggling with something. You said she's got stuff going on. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, she's thinking. She's been telling me over the last couple of years that she's thinking about, maybe getting a divorce, and then she would move into that house and take that over, because it would be a perfect house for her if that's what she decided to do.
So the house is empty.
The house is empty right now, too, right? Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're not going to wait on a divorce to be final.
Right.
That's a good point. Her decision's got to be her decision.
Yeah, and
not contingent on that.
She needs to. You said Texas?
Minnesota.
Is that where she is?
That's where she is. Yeah.
And that's where the house is as well.
Correct.
Okay. I don't know Minnesota law, and I'm not a lawyer anyway. Have her check Minnesota law. But in most states, if you inherit a house from your mom and get divorced, they do not split that house with your spouse. And by the way, she's already inherited it, so she can't get away from it. So, but I would imagine that is protected in the event of a divorce. But again, you need to check me. I'm not a legal scholar, okay? So, but she, for her sake. So what I would do is just say, hey, listen, I don't want to get all up in your business or anything. We probably ought to just settle this estate right quick. If you want the house, an easy way to do this is I'll just, we'll go to court, we'll go to the probate court, get them to deed the house to you, and I'll take the investments, and we'll split the $100,000, $50,000 each, and we'll get this thing settled up. We need to wrap it up, though. It doesn't need to drag out. It's not good for the house to sit there empty without us knowing what's going on. You need a plan, and so I think it's good for you. Did you say she's been saying for several years she's going to get a divorce? Did you say that?
Yeah.
She's a kick the can down the road girl. She'll kick this can down the road for a decade if you let her. So
that's what I'm afraid
it's good for her and good for you to gently be the proactive one that helps her make decisions, because she doesn't like to make decisions.
Yeah. So I'm just going to have to kind of make that decision regardless of that. I mean, I'm going to leave that out and just say, hey, we need to split this up.
Exactly.
You're going to have to decide one way or the other.
Let's go ahead and get this done. I think we can wrap it up in about 90 days. If you want the house, do you want the house, or have you decided? If not, let me know by the end of the week.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, because go ahead and contact an attorney over there and find out what probate looks like, because you have to go before the probate judge to get all this verified, even though there's not a will, and you'll fill out affidavits, and you'll probably pay $1,000 out of the $100 in attorney's fees to run it through probate and get the judge to approve all the transactions and the split. But it shouldn't be. It's kind of a no-brainer. It's fairly easy. It's open shut, as long as she's in agreement. If she's not in agreement, we got to sell the house.
Right.
And then we split everything down the middle, the proceeds of the house, the investment account, and the $100,000.
Okay.
That's
all right.
you know,
and that's fair. That's kind of where I was leaning. I just didn't know if I needed to press her.
I wouldn't press her in a mean way. I would just say, hey, I talked to an attorney. Looks like we can get this done in about 30 days. We just got to decide what we're going to do. I know you might want the house. You've talked about that. If you want it, I'm happy to let you have it. If that's good for you, I'll take the investments of $300. The house is worth about $300, and we'll split the $100. And the attorney says we can wrap that up in about 90 days or whatever the attorney tells you. And it's just you're just very helpful, and you're proactive, and you're upbeat, and it's not like you need to get this. You're not. It
doesn't sound like you're pressing her. She's the one who said that
you're helping her.
Wanted the house. Yeah,
you're helping her, and you're helping get it done, and helping all the decisions be made. And if you don't want the house, it's okay. Just tell me. We'll put it on the market, and we'll sell it, and it's okay. You know, because I don't want it, and and we'll just split the money. And if you'd rather have the money in the house, it's okay. But we got to kind of decide because we need to get this going. And so I got the attorney moving, and just let me know what you want to do. And it's just real helpful, and just put a little energy behind the decision, and because I'll give you a guess, and I'm just playing Dr. John Deloney, my best version here, that she has a lot of fear, and she operates in fear, so decisions are hard for her.
I think that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you hit the nail right on the head.
Yeah. She's been living in a toxic environment for a long time. I'm sad for her.
Right.
Yeah,
that's awful. Tough. And you want to be gentle and kind, but it's not being gentle and kind to play that game with her.
That's true.
Yeah, that makes good sense too.
Yeah, speed, efficiency with a smile is very gentle.
Look, that house could be a new beginning for her.
Could be.
If she moves on.
Could be that she finally makes a decision to make her marriage work.
That's right.
Hope that works
that too.
Or hope he does, or something like that. Maybe he knows she's got options now,
That's
so he
true.
starts behaving.
That is true.
I don't know what it is, but
hope for the best.
Yeah, it's just these things where you don't deal with things never means that you don't deal with them. It just means you deal with them later.
Yeah, that's true.
So deal with them.
Yeah.
Deal with it now. Put a bow on it. Every time you got a decision like this, and you can do it kindly, and you can do it with compassion. You just lost your parents. I mean, oh my gosh, it's a painful, horrible time to go through, and it's very nostalgic to walk through the house, and it brings back good and bad memories, I'm sure.
Bet,
Would for most people. And so that's all cool. But just gently and kindly move her right along. And I don't think she's going to dig her heels in.
I don't think so. I mean, the way he said it, it sounded like, hey, if we're dividing this up, I'd like to have the house. And he's like, okay, great. Like luckily for them, this doesn't.
If you don't, it's okay. We're going to get it on the market, and the attorney says we can get it sold, and we'll just split up the proceeds, and judge will approve it, and it's all good.
They're lucky that there's no animosity in these situations. I don't want a
house sitting empty in Minneapolis in the winter.
Okay. That's called frozen pipes. That's called issues.
I got hardwoods gone bad. I got leaks. I got all kinds of things. I'm thinking, oh, man.
Yeah, that can become a headache.
I don't know anything about anything, but it could be the heat bills are high there in the winter. I don't know. I'm from Tennessee. What do I know? This is The Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dr. John Deloney here. I'm a huge fan of both meditation and prayer, and good mental health includes slowing down, gaining control of your thoughts, and plugging into something bigger than you. And Hallow makes it easy to start a daily practice of meditation, prayer, and finding peace. Hallow is the #1 Bible app in the world, and you can tailor content towards your faith tradition. From scripture readings and prayers to meditation and journaling, Hallow makes it easy to practice prayer, meditate, and build a deeper, more meaningful spiritual life and rediscover true peace. Go to hallow.com/Ramsey today to get 3 months of Hallow for free. That's hallow.com/Ramsey.
Thank you for joining us, America. This is the Ramsey Show. Jade Washaw, Ramsey Personality, is my co-host in the lobby of Ramsey Solutions on the debt-free stage. Brent and Natasha are with us. Hey, guys, how are you?
Hello.
Good.
Welcome. Where do you live?
Seymour, Indiana.
Okay, and what is that near?
Indianapolis.
Oh, good. Okay, fun. Well, welcome to Nashville. And how much debt have you guys paid?
$276,350.
Excellent. How long did this take?
A little under 5 years.
Good for you. And your range of income during that time?
$147,000 to $178,000.
Cool. What do y'all do for a living?
I am a deviation investigator for a pharmaceutical company.
Mm-hmm.
And I am a first grade teacher.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Fun. Good to have you guys. Welcome.
Thank you.
5 years, $276,000 worth of debt. What kind of debt was this?
A little bit of everything. Credit cards, 401k loan, car, house.
You paid off your house?
We did.
All right. Weird people.
All right. Yes.
So what's this house worth?
It's I think now that last I checked, it was a little over $300,000.
Good for you. Cool. And how much do you guys have in your investments?
The last I checked it, mine was almost $600,000. I think yours was almost $200,000.
So you're baby steps millionaires.
Yes.
Yeah.
Way to go!
Let's
How
go.
old are you guys?
I'm 47.
I'm 46.
So you did it quick.
Yep.
Good for y'all. Well
thank
done. Very well done. I love it.
So good.
So tell us the story. What happened 5 years ago that put you on this track to be millionaires?
Well, 2018, when we first got married, I started doing all the financial stuff. And when we got to a point where Natasha wanted to see everything, and I hadn't taken care of it as well as I could. So we were piled up some debt. So once we got there, and she met with her financial advisor, and she suggested we take FPU, and we went through that, and the rest is history.
Well, thanks to the financial advisor.
Yes.
Very good. Okay. So, Natasha, what was itching in the back of your head you're wanting to scratch? I want to see what's going on here.
I know. I just think being left in the dark, and when he told me that how much we were in debt, it just terrified me immensely, and guilt, not being involved throughout our marriage. And
how long you been married?
22 years.
22 years. Okay.
Yes.
And so you'd gone 17 years.
Yes. Yeah. I think I'm a big worrier, and so he wanted to, I think, take it upon himself in our household.
Yeah.
So, which I do not advise.
How much of it was the non-mortgage debt?
About $70,000 to $80,000.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So very good. So the cool thing is now that you're doing it together, there's no worry.
Nope.
Right.
We know when it's actually knowing what's going on. Even if you find out there's $80,000 in debt, once you know it, and that's the whole thing.
Yes.
Then it's easier to face the monster once you know how big he is.
Yep.
Right.
He's a lot bigger when he's in the dark.
Yep.
Yes,
he is.
right.
Yep.
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Good for y'all. Well done. Okay, so the financial advisor says go through Financial Peace University. What was your first reaction when you heard that?
Definitely, because I was terrified.
What about you, Brent?
Oh, definitely. I was on board because it was the financial issues we had were kind of weighing down on my shoulders. So getting that off my shoulders, I mean, it was a relief to go through FPU. So
and learn how to work together and carry it together.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct.
And again, the monster in the light is not nearly as big a deal.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah. Good for y'all. Well done. Hey, man, after 17 years of marriage, you learned a whole new dance?
Okay.
Yes.
That's a good dance trick right there.
Yes.
Look, if you learn to communicate around your money, what you guys learn to do is like you can communicate through anything, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And you guys have seen that play out in real time. That's very, very, very cool.
Yeah. Proud of y'all. Well done. No house payment or anything.
No, yes. Right.
I mean, you got nothing to worry about.
Yeah, that still really hasn't sunk in yet because it's only been a few months. So,
I mean, what's the celebration? You pay off your house, you got to go do something cool.
Well, we're going to take a vacation.
Where?
So, our daughter just graduated high school, so our other daughter. So, we kind of let her pick. So, we're going to Disney World.
Okay.
So, we haven't been on vacation in a long time.
And you're bringing everybody.
So, the four of us will go.
Okay.
Yes.
And then when you get home, pick an adult vacation.
Okay.
and go on one of those too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh my goodness.
Now I'll get hate mail from all the Disney adults, and I truly don't care.
I support this message. I support it.
I don't care at all. My daughter included. There you go. Okay, so hey guys,
That's right.
My 30-something-year-old daughter, I should make sure I say, but yeah.
They lived in the house too, so the daughters get to go on the one vacation,
they do. That's
and
cool.
then
That's
and then they
cool.
go on the
I'm
other vacation.
Not putting that down. That's great. So what you need to celebrate, and then you need to celebrate some more. Yeah, good. Way to go, millionaires. Yes. Okay, now when you look back on it and you say, all right, I go to that first class in Financial Peace University, and we're both on board. I don't want to carry the weight anymore. I don't want to worry anymore, were the words you two used. What were the things you started learning in there that made you believe this is happening, it's doable, we're going to be okay?
I think it was just a lot of communication that we had to learn from each other, and just that once you said, once you see the monster, you understand what's going on, and you can take care of it. And and we had good jobs, so we knew we could.
Yeah, you're making good money.
Yeah.
Right.
Making too much money to be broke. Yeah.
Right. And we were just dead set. on doing this,
Right.
and we just.
Do you remember
did not
one
give
of the
up.
lessons that stuck out? Been a couple of years ago.
Yeah, it's been a little bit.
Yes.
I mean, there wasn't really one singular aha moment then.
I
Okay,
don't think so. No, I think it was just the whole program in
everything.
general.
The encompassing the
everything.
proven system.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, like I
To
can
get
do
us
this.
on the same
I can do
page.
this.
Yeah,
I can do this.
Yes.
We can do this.
Yes.
We can do
We're
this.
gonna do this.
Yep.
Yeah, we're going to communicate. We're going to carry it together. We're going to attack this monster. He's going down. Yeah,
Yes.
I got it. Good. I
So
like
good.
that. I like that. That's acceptable, and that is a great result. That's what we hope for with Financial Peace University, and it's what happens for the people that engage. So excellent. Very well done, y'all. Very cool. Now, I've asked you before. I'm going to ask one more time. You're 100% out of debt.
Right. Absolutely.
You're 47-year-old.
Yes.
Baby steps millionaires. How's that feel?
Wonderful.
Yes. Yes.
Well, just ecstatic.
Yeah.
No worries for our daughters. Just we did it.
Yeah.
Touchdown.
Yes.
We did it.
Touchdown.
We did it.
Yeah,
we did
well
it.
done. I'm
We
so
did
proud
it.
of you.
Thank you.
We did
You're
it.
neat people. You deserve it. I'm so
Thank
proud
you.
of you. Yeah, you work, but guys, y'all out there, you work too hard to be broke.
Yes.
You put up with crap. You go to the office and you go, yeah, man, shit. You go to work and you go, yeah. Still, the things you have to deal with.
Okay.
You work too hard to be broke. You might as well win while you're at it.
That's right.
Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of y'all.
Well, thank
I'm
you.
so glad Financial Peace University helped. Very, very good.
Absolutely.
All right, and your daughter's name is what? That's with you?
Claire.
And Claire is how old?
She is 13.
Okay, so she's 13,
So, yes.
and then the other one is in college. You said.
She's heading to college in August.
Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Emma.
Excellent.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay,
Very
so
cool.
very cool. All right, we've got the Live and Give box for you, the Baby Steps Millionaires book, since you are one, the Total Money Makeover book for you to give away to somebody, and a Financial Peace University membership. Since you've been through, you can give that to someone. Blessings to some other people. We'll let you pay it forward at our behest, and we're just giving that to you to say we're proud of you. Good work.
Thank you.
Very good work. All right, Brent and Natasha and Claire from Indianapolis area. $276,000 paid off in 5 years, making $147,000 to $178,000. Baby steps millionaires at 47 years old. This stuff works. Count it down. Let's hear a debt-free scream.
1, 2, 3.
We're debt-free!
Yeah! You gotta love it, boys and girls. You gotta love it. Well, you can talk about your theories, or you can talk about people who really do things, like Brent and Natasha. They are people that do things. This is The Ramsey Show. scripture of the day, 1 Corinthians 13:13, and now these three remain, faith, hope, and love, but the greatest of these is love. Miss Opal Lee, the grandmother of Juneteenth, said, if people can be taught to hate, they can be taught to love, and changing minds can actually be done. It's not going to happen in a day. You got to work at it.
That's good.
Way to go, Miss Opal. Love it. Good stuff. Open phones at 888-825-5225. A lot of you are planning to move sometime soon, and that's awesome. I'm excited for you, but I got to be real. In most places around the country, you're going to be facing some sky-high home prices, and interest rates aren't returning to their record lows anytime soon. This does not make home ownership impossible. Makes it very possible. If you want to buy or sell, you got to make sure you're financially ready. And you got to have a trusted and experienced real estate agent to walk you through it. Not a family friend who just got their license or some pretty smart, nice person. No, someone who does real estate, not as a hobby. If you've sold 2 houses, this is not who you want selling your largest asset. It's sweet. Everybody has to start there, but that's not what you're going to do. You're going to get a high-quality, high-octane, high-protein Ramsey trusted agent through our endorsed local providers program, and we vet the agents from around the country so you'll have the best support, whether you're moving from Florida to Alaska or buying your first home somewhere in between. Go to RamseySolutions.com/agent and find a Ramsey trusted real estate agent today. RamseySolutions.com/agent. Jacob is in Atlanta. Hi, Jacob. Welcome to the Ramsey Show.
Hey, Dave and Jade. Thank you so much for taking my call. It's an honor to speak with you.
You too. What's up?
Is it okay if I give a little bit of background information before my question?
Quickly.
Sure. So I'm 24 years old and I'm self-employed. For the past 3 years, I've been running an online business. It takes about 20 hours per week for me. I believe I could manage this while working a full-time job to start a long-term career. Currently, my business brings in about $4,500 per month, and using the first 5 months of this year for reference, this November, I'm getting married, and my fiance and I are looking for homes in the $300,000 to $350,000 price range. We're putting $150,000 down and aiming to pay the mortgage off in 3 to 4 years, depending on how much we borrow.
Pretty cool.
My fiance is also, thank you. My fiance is also self-employed, and she brings in about $4,000 per month, so our combined income is about $8,500. So since we're looking to pay off the mortgage so quickly, I'm looking at some sort of longer-term career and then also doing my self-employed business on the side, but with no normal 9-to-5 work experience. I'm a bit unsure on what kind of role would be a good fit for me. I do have a degree in exercise and sports science, but I'm interested in pursuing business. And when it comes to applying for more advanced business positions, do you think I would have a chance at competing at those?
What are you doing online?
It's just mainly e-commerce, so I sell on platforms like eBay and Amazon, and it doesn't take up too much time because I have places that fulfill my orders for me, so it's mainly just buying online.
Like a drop shipping business?
Mm-hmm.
I guess you could say that, but I buy the inventory and then ship it to platforms like Amazon that store it for me, and then they ship it out. So normally drop shipping is where they purchase an item and then they ship it direct. I normally hold a little bit of inventory.
Are you not interested in growing that business?
Well, I am interested in growing that business, and it's been growing steadily, but it just doesn't take up too much of my time, and I'm looking for more.
If you spent more time on it, would it grow?
Yes, it would grow, but the thing is with that, it's going to consistently require me to put more cash into it, which I would like to stay around how much cash I currently have in the business, liquid, which is around $50,000, and then use extra sources of income to help pay down the mortgage faster. Plus, I'm interested in starting some sort of new career, if that makes sense.
So the answer then to my question is no, you're not interested in growing that business. You'd like it right where it's at.
Yeah, I'm happy where it's at, yes.
Okay. I'll just tell you what's running through my head, and it may or may not be true. Okay. Sometimes when you've got you have this thing, you grew up and you're young and you started real young, and you're making really good money. It feels like it's not real, and like you didn't do anything, and there's like it's like this is a kid job working at the mall or something for you, and you want a big boy job, as if what you're doing at $4,500 a month is not a big boy job. I just want to go ahead and affirm you already have a big boy job.
You're making more than some folks making their big boy job.
Making a lot of people make at their quote unquote real job, unquote, So I don't want you to think that what's run through my head is I'm a little bit afraid, and I'm not sure, I'm not accusing you of this, but I'm a little bit afraid you might think that working for someone is going to be like a lot cooler than it is.
Or more stable? Is it a stability thing?
That's a good point. I think part of it is the stability, because the items that I'm selling, they are very seasonal. So the average that I'm giving you is accounting for like Q4 as example, which obviously is way hotter for buying or back to school times or even the beginning of the year.
But could
and
you
the middle of the year is much slower.
Could you expand into items that are less seasonal and more everyday use, or every season?
Yes, that is also a possibility, but
I'm not requiring you to do that. I just don't want you to overlook the diamonds at your feet while you're looking over here in the corner for something else. And that's why we keep coming back to this, because what you're doing is pretty impressive, in other words.
And from what I hear from this, when you're starting a business, sometimes the hardest part is getting it going and starting to create a profit, and you've already got it going. So that's why I kept going back to it, because it's...
Can you get a job doing project management or e-retailing or e-tailing for some company making $50,000 or $80,000? Yeah, maybe. You probably can. You probably talk somebody into that right now, and you can go do it. And you're going to be working for some goofball possibly who's having trouble making payroll Friday because he doesn't manage his cash well. I mean, so it's not always, or some startup that goes broke because the venture capitalists pulled the rug out from under them, or whatever the thing is. I mean, it's not always everything that glitters is not gold. So, go do that and get you some experience doing that. But I just want to affirm you that you've already done something that some of the people you are going to work for don't even know how to do. And that's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
and so,
I agree.
Just keep that in mind while you're doing this, and set your expectations reasonably. And Are you somehow less than if you can't get a job making $60,000 or $80,000 doing e-tailing for somebody, working with their their social media team or whatever, their eBay team, whatever, helping them do stuff? No, you're not. But you have plenty of chops to come to work at Ramsey, for instance. We've got a huge, digital. We got almost 1,100 people in here, 1,000 people in here, and a large number of them are dealing with the web and technology and marketing and digital marketing and so on. And you're capable of joining those teams. You've already got the chops, and regardless of what your particular 4-year degree was in.
The thing I want to make sure he doesn't do is, if he does go pursue something out there, that he doesn't let what he's built go by the wayside in any way.
Not too easily.
And just, his whole thing was, I got to pay off the house. And he's a young guy. He's 22 years old. Like, he'll pay the house off. I just don't want him to make this decision purely from that standpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah,
go ahead and do what's right for your career and get around to the house as it properly.
Yeah, you're going to pay off your house.
Do what's right for you and your future and the future of your wife, and what's going to build us the life we want. And as a part of that, we're going to make money. We're going to pay off the house.
Yeah, this guy's going to make money. Yeah, that's for sure.
He knows how to make money.
Yeah.
And
he's going to be all right.
You and I both recognize that as entrepreneurs. I mean, you and Sam run a business for years. And it's funny, you can see somebody that some people you can't beg them to go make money.
No.
Other people you can't keep them from it.
That's right. That's why, I didn't want to try to tell him, hey, don't do this, do that. But what he's got right there, like you said, it's diamonds at his feet. And he's doing what most people haven't been able to figure out.
I want a side hustle I can live on, $4,500.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
I know that's
anyway,
right.
There you go. So, hey, good job, man. Proud of you. Keep it up. Hope that works good for you. That puts this hour of the Ramsey Show in the books. Austin, man, I tell you what, great job in there. Ben, and of course, Zach, and of course, James. Well done, guys. We'll be back with you before you know it. In the meantime, remember, there's ultimately only one way to financial peace, and that's to walk daily with the Prince of Peace, Christ Jesus.
what's up, guys? It's Jade. Look, if you like what you heard in this episode and want to know more about getting started on the Ramsey baby steps, go to RamseySolutions.com and click the Get Started button. We'll help you figure out the best next step for you based on your specific situation. That's RamseySolutions.com and click Get Started.